Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, race 16 of the 2026 schedule at Nashville Superspeedway. 9-6 on the pick so far this year. Not too bad. Alright, the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250 miles around Nashville Superspeedway, 188 laps, 3 stages, 45, 45, and 98. Fuel window is 66 to 71 laps. The teams will have 4 sets of Goodyear tires. Whew. So, very interesting because you have the pit window of 66 to 71 laps. So you definitely can go through each stage except for that third stage. You will have to pit. All depends on cautions, depends on tire wear, it depends on a lot of factors when these teams are going to want to make those pit stops. But at least we can run through the first 2 stages without no worry pit the end of the stage. Now the only driver changes here is Alex Bowman was supposed to be in the 88 for Junior Motorsports. That has been updated to Kyle Larson. So not sure about why on that one. I don't know if there's something going on. There is a big announcement this weekend, a driver announcement I think it was said, a team announcement. We know we're supposed to have one last weekend with the passing of Kyle Busch. We didn't have it. It's either going to be, to me, one or two things. It's either going to be Alex Bowman's not returning to the 48 and driver X is going to be in the 48, or it's going to be Parker Retzlaff signed with Legacy Motor Club. Because if you notice on Friday night, we had in the 62 Hallmark Friesen truck, we had Parker Retzlaff wearing a Legacy Motor Club fire suit. Those don't math. The math ain't mathing on that one until there's an announcement. I don't know if it's just a one-off, if it's going to be like an O'Reilly Series maybe team. I don't know where that is, so we'll have to TBA on that one. Like to think it would be an O'Reilly Series team because I don't know if Parker Retzlaff is Cup ready yet. But obviously with the passing of Kyle Busch, that just adds another domino to it. Who's going to be in the 33 car next year full-time? Who's going to be in the 84 for Legacy Motor Club? Where does Corey Heim end up? Rayleigh Herbst does have a full sponsor and a contract. So a lot of moving pieces, and we know from things that Jimmy Johnson has said that the 84 will be a driver they want to build up. It's not going to be like a one-year deal, so that I think it's coming later on this morning. All right, 4 of the last 6 winners of the O'Reilly Series race at Nashville, 3 times has it been one from the pole, twice the late Kyle Busch. Alright, so like I said, Alex Bowman out of the 88, Kyle Larson's in the 88. The normal driver of the 88, Rajah Caruth, will be in the 32 for Jordan Anderson Racing. I know a lot of people on social media was like, why didn't Junior Motorsports just bring the 9 back? I think it has to do with sponsorship. I think there's already a deal in place for Rajah to be with Jordan Anderson Racing for so many races. And I think HinderCars.com being on that 32 cost a little bit less than it would be for Junior Motorsports to produce another team for the weekend. So I think that's kind of the why. I know Rajah has 2 points out of the playoffs right now. He's obviously, the stats in the 32 aren't quite as good as the stats in the 88, which again, it's a tier 1 team to a tier 2 team. So we'll see how Rajah does here in that 32. I think he'll do okay. Now, if you look at the last 4 races in the O'Reilly Series at the Nashville Superspeedway, Sam Mayer average finish 5.25, Jesse Love 5.5, Austin Hill 5.75, Justin Allgaier 6.25, and 2 wins. In 2 races, Carson Kvapil 11.0 average finish. In 1 race, Corey Day finished 12th, Harrison Burton finished 13th, and then Ryan Sieg average finish of 15.25. The average riding position for those 4 races. And that's one stat that I kind of look a lot on in this era because we have times where something will happen where a driver will win a race or be top 5, but they ran mid-pack or worse all day. Or we may have a driver who ran in the top 3 all day, but something happened and they end up having a bad finish. So that average running position kind of gives you an idea how they ran all day compared to where they finished. Justin Allgaier in those last 4 races at Nashville Superspeedway has an average running position of 7.02. Sam Mayer 8.21. Austin Hill 8.49. Jesse Love 12.84. Taylor Gray 13.24. Brandon Jones 13.48. Sheldon Creed 14.18, and Carson Quapple 14.64. Now, I always like to, especially with tracks like Nashville, is kind of look at the last 2 years, because you can go to a 4-year period. A lot has changed in the last 4 years. So the last 2 races at Nashville, Jess Naggar an average finished 4.5 with a win. Jesse Love 5.5. Austin Hill 5.5. Sam Mayer 6.5. So a little worse for Sam Mayer, a little bit better for Jess Naggar. Carson Quapple 11.0. Corey Day had that one race, finished 12th. Harrison Burton that one race finished 13th, and then Brandon Jones 13.51. If we look at average running position for those 2 races, Jess Naggar 5.41, Austin Hill 7.58, Sam Mayer 7.85, Sheldon Creed 10.49, Jesse Love 12.84, Taylor Gray 13.24, and Brandon Jones 14.08. Now, when it comes to the Truck Series and the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, there's not a lot of information out there for like tire codes and similar stuff that's going to help us figure out who's going to run well at Nashville. I know in the Cup Series we have what we call the short track package, which is the 750 horsepower, the low downforce. We've had those in the certain races. We've had this tire code now for this like 5 or 6 races, so we can look at, okay, when we ran this package, this is what the stats are. When we were in this tire code, this is what the stats are. When we have this package with this tire code, these are the stats. Plus, we can look at the past Nashville stuff. We don't have that information for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series or the Truck Series. So, when it comes to unique tracks, and I would say Nashville Superspeedway was very unique because it is a 1.33 mile concrete track. We don't have anything like that on the circuit. We have concrete tracks like in Dover, but it's a high bank 1 mile. We have a concrete track at Bristol, but it's a half-mile high bank. Nothing really is comparable to what we do at Nashville Superspeedway. So we're kind of stat-wise, that's what we got. So let's look at the points. 15 to 24 races down. Jess Naggar has a 145-point lead with 3 wins. Now, to put that number in perspective, 145 points. The most points that you can gain in a weekend is 76. If you at least start the race, you get a point. So the most points that you can gain over anybody is 75. So right now, Jess Naggar is 6 points away from having a complete 2-race lead in the points. What that means is Jess Naggar would have to finish dead last 2 weeks in a row and or miss two races. And Jesse Love would have to max point both weekends in order to even tie him, and you'd still be a point behind. That's how drastic of a points lead Jess Naggar has right now. Jess Naggar is plus 327 to the cut line. That's 4.3 races of points. And there is 9 races to go in the regular season. He will clinch the playoff spot with 5 races left. It's just insane. This season this guy's having. So Jesse Love is second, minus 145. Corey Day is third points with 2 wins, minus 167. At that point, we're not even looking to where they're at toward the top. We're looking where they're at to be in the chase. So right now, currently fourth in points, Sheldon Creed with a win, plus 141. Brandon Jones, 5th, plus 111. Austin Hill, 6th, with a win, plus 97. Sammy Smith, plus 84. Carson Quapple, plus 81. Parker Retzlaff, plus 19. He's overperforming in the equipment he has. William Swalich is 10th, with a win, plus 15. Now here's the little hornet's nest here. We have Sam Mayer, plus 7. Taylor Gray with a win, plus 2. Roger Cruz, minus 2. Ryan Sieg, minus 15. Then we get Brent Cruz, minus 29. He's been up and down. He'll have a good run. He'll get up to the chase, top 12. He'll fall back. Yeah, so he's been kind of inconsistent, even though he missed 4 races this year. Brennan Poole, minus 78, and Anthony Alfredo, minus 105. Remember, Anthony Alfredo and Parker Retzlaff are teammates with Viking Motorsports. 9th and 17th in points. This is a drastic difference in how those two performed this year. Alright, so when I do the picks, Kyle Larson. In the last 20 O'Reilly Auto Parts Series races that he's raced in, He has 10 wins, 18 top 5s, 18 top 10s. There is no way, in no NASCAR or Earnhardt Series that Kyle Larson is starting that you cannot pick him. And mind you, that's with Junior Motorsports, Hendrick Motorsports, Colic Racing, and it actually dates back to his last year with Chip Ganassi in the O'Reilly Series. So yeah, multiple different teams, same result. All right, so the 4 picks to win the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250 NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race. Kyle Larson, shocker, right? Jess Nuggeyer, Jesse Love, and Sam Mayer. Stay tuned to Rubber Sports Show for the Cracker Barrel 400 preview and then the preview of the IndyCar race at Detroit. As always, thanks for watching Rubber Sports Show. Have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader for sports content.